Hi, Bryan. So can you tell me about the Royal and Select Master's degree?
I can, Simon. I think I'll start off by giving you a quote from Beyond the Craft, that booklet that was written by Keith Jackson. And in it he says, "It is somewhat surprising to note that many brethren are completely unaware of the significance of these degrees and unwittingly regard them as a group of interesting ceremonies of unrelated incidents in the temple. However, to the serious and understanding Masonic student, they throw light on most interesting sequence of events and thereby demonstrate the essential link between the degree of a Master Mason, Mark Master Mason, and a Royal Archmason." And I think that probably is the gist of our order. It brings and unites the craft, the mark, and the chapter together.
And how does this degree fit in with the established orders of the Craft, the Royal Arch, and the Mark?
I think it's essential. It binds them all together. We're letting people know that that is how you complete your jigsaw. I'm sure many people have seen this little business card that we've been taking around and leaving with people with a QR code on it, which will take you to a little short cartoon to demonstrate how we all fit in together. It's a sequence, I think, that we'll just think about briefly. When we come into Masonry as a entered apprentice, then we logically progress into Mark and to fellow craft, which is what the Mark comes from. That is the preparation of the materials for the building of the temple, very much a Mark object. We then progress from that to the construction of a crypt below the temple, which is Select Master, the first of our degrees in the order. We then have a period in the craft where the third degree comes into place, and as I don't know who will be watching this, let's just say it's the calamities of the third degree. In our order, we have a little bit of ritual prior to that, when there's a reflection on death, and then a second part of that ceremony after that has occurred. I shan't mention any more. That's for the student to come across, Masonic student to come across as he progresses. After that, we have the dedication of the temple, which is the Most Excellent Master, when that is completed and celebrated. And then finally, the fourth part of our order is the destruction of the temple, which comes under the Super Excellent Master. And then after that, as we all know, the logical next step is the building of the second temple, which is very much the Royal Arch. When we come across a word that those of us who have been into Royal and Select understand how it got there. And I think that leads to a very enjoyable, logical and satisfying Masonic rite, and completes our journey from initiation through to exaltation.
So how large is your province? How many councils do you have, and where do they meet?
Right, we're very fortunate. We have quite a large geographical area. We come all of North Wales, Cheshire, Shropshire, and North Staffordshire. That is the bit above the A5. We cover 4 craft provinces: North Wales, Cheshire, Shropshire, and Staffordshire, and 3 Mark provinces: North Wales, Cheshire, Staffordshire, and Shropshire. It's lovely to see people mixing in with all those various provinces. We stretch from Bangor to Birkenhead, Wallasey, to Chester and Christleton, to Macclesfield, to Hyde, to Whitchurch, to Church Stretton, and to Penkridge. And it's lovely to see companions going to each of those councils and not just sticking to their own geographical area.
And how many officers are there in a regular council, and how often do they meet?
Right, regular officers are Thrice Illustrious Master, Deputy Master, Principal Conductor of the Work, so their position's a little bit like a chapter. We also have a Conductor of the Council and a Captain of the Guard and a Steward, although in our case he isn't a steward, he's more of an inner guard. and our stewards are called manciples, and of course a Tyler, or as we call him, a sentinel. Meetings are normally 3 times a year.
And finally, how can one find out about the Royal and Select Master's degree?
Many ways. First of all, as I put on the screen a little earlier on, there's the card which you may well pick up in one of the Masonic halls you visit. If you go onto the Mark Master Mason site, the main one at Mark Mason's Hall, click on the orders, click on to Royal and Select Masters and scroll down, you will see a little cartoon. And on clicking on that, that'll take you to our website. That will also tell you a little bit more about the order in general. We have a website that's now off and running, and they'll find that at royalandselectmasters.com, or one word, or lowercase. Just off and running now. By keying in that, more information can be obtained.
Bryan Hughes, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.